Now, I'm going to do my best to not take all of the nice stuff that I just said in the last half hour and flush it down the toilet because I'm a little irritated. I'm a little irritated at the love we are showing for this killer, the United Healthcare killer. First of all, CNN, and I am not making this up. One of the anchors on CNN said, "Do we have it? Oh, play this. Watch this if you happen to be watching, and I'll describe it after." Go ahead.
The clips we were watching at the top of this segment are driven by the fact that this is an attractive.
We got to drop the banner to show why.
And it is deeply troubling.
Okay,
and they actually do it.
They actually do it. This banner at the bottom of the screen that's on all the time. They're saying that this guy is getting. Wait, Charlie Manson could have been, I don't know, the guy who can believe it's butter. And nobody would have said, "Yeah, I know, but look at him."
Fabio?
Yeah. Boy, have you seen him? He's let himself go.
Has he really?
Anyway, I'm one to talk. But we never say that. I don't care how good looking you are.
I don't think we never say it. Like, for example, I saw did you see this? It was a Mexican assassin, a drug cartel assassin. Did you see her the other day?
No, I didn't know.
Sarah saw it. She was attractive, and that was the only thing people were talking about. So that does happen. I think it does happen from time to time. That being said, it's not supposed to happen on CNN.
Right. And wait, are people saying, you know what? Maybe her hits were okay.
No.
Right.
But I will say, looking at the picture, I totally assume there will be a movie made about her in the future.
All right, yeah. But
that will seem to maybe glorify the stuff she did, which was terrible.
We are glorifying what this guy... Listen to this one. I'm not going to give his name.
Thank you for that. You're the only person I've seen do that. Everybody else is blurting this name out 100 million times.
Into a hero.
It's worse than the typical mass shooter, where typically the media, while they have all their gun points, aren't trying to make them into a hero. This guy they're trying to make him into a hero, giving his name over and over again. I don't think it's a good idea.
Wait a minute, I haven't even heard anyone say anything about pulling guns off the streets either. Have you heard?
No, especially, and it was a ghost gun. This is like Joe Biden's favorite topic. You know why?
I guess all you have to be is good looking and
on the left.
On the left.
Are you an anti-capitalist? Then fine. Good job with a 3D printer.
So this guy went, he killed somebody in cold blood, and everyone is excusing him. Everyone on the left and everybody in the media excusing him. Well, look at his abs. I mean, really. What does that have to... You know what that ties into? His back problems. Don't even begin to talk to me about back problems, you wuss. My gosh, I've got back problems. You're 20 and you have those abs? They ain't that bad, dude.
If you could do that many sit-ups, I'm sorry, your back problems can't be that bad.
Shut up. And if you are in your 20s and you had back surgery, you're a moron unless you absolutely had no other choice. But then you're still a moron if you thought it was going to work. Back surgery hardly ever works. How many people do you know that had back surgery and they went, I feel like I'm 20 again. I don't know anybody that says that. I know back doctors, surgeons who are like, don't come to me yet. Don't come until you. This is a quote from my surgeon. Right? Until you beg me to cut you open, and I have begged him, and he's like, not quite yet. I mean, how do you? Oh, your back hurts. Oh, boo boos.
I think there was at least rumors or indications from his online writings that he had spinal fusion surgery.
Fine.
Well, I mean,
lots of people.
Serious.
Yeah, but lots of people have had it.
No, it doesn't justify murder. But I mean, I really don't understand if you had spinal fusion.
How self-absorbed are you? We were just talking off the air. Went to a Christmas party. We went to the studio's Christmas party.
Yeah.
And I was there for what?
Way longer than I thought.
Like 3 or 4 hours, okay? Standing on hard concrete floors. I stand about 45 minutes, and that's a miracle if I'm standing 45 minutes and not in an agonizing pain in my lower back and legs. I stood there for 4 hours. Did you know I was in pain, Sarah? Did you know I was in pain still?
No.
Okay. You know why? Because I know Pat, who's in worse pain than I am, and he never says anything. What the heck? You are so self-absorbed that you think your problems, what happened to me, what they did to me, what they didn't do for me. I'm going to speak for humanity and shoot a dad who has kids. Are you? And then you glorify this guy? This is the absence of all truth. This is the deception I talked about 15 minutes ago.
Yeah. And, it feels like it's a new moment in a way, like it feels like that. But what exactly separates this from the way we handled George Floyd? Like, when you're burning down cities and everyone's saying, well, yeah, but racism, this is the exact same thing, with the exception of 81% of the American public don't approve of racism like they do their own health care. Health care is actually generally pretty well received in this country.
Well, better received before Obamacare.
Obamacare is the worst approval rating of all of the insurance. Right. That is true. But generally speaking, we don't hate our health care as much as everyone's portraying it right now. Right. But you
want to hate health care, go to Canada. But can I change it? You know what this is? What was the guy who shot the abortion doctor that Bill O'Reilly was blamed for?
Yes, I don't know his name, thankfully, because he's a murderer.
Right.
And I don't.
What was the doctor's name?
It was Tiller, George Tiller.
Yes. And remember that? All we talked about was how Bill O'Reilly, who did nothing, was responsible for the shooting of a guy who was killing babies every day. Okay?
Yeah.
And no one was on TV saying, he was
Violence
killed.
Violence is never the answer, but let me give you my rant on why abortion is bad. And this is a good opportunity for us to discuss No, it's not. No, a murder is not a good opportunity. It is important, of course, to discuss healthcare and abortion. It's got nothing to do. There's no new justification to discuss them because there is a murder. That you're totally right. We should actually talk. I would love to hear what Bill O'Reilly's talking about this.
Let's call him. Have him call it if I have time today. Otherwise tomorrow.
Yeah.
But
because he was blamed for that murder. Blamed for it. He did not commit it. He was blamed for it.
I'm so mad about murder. I'm gonna go murder someone.
Huh? And by the way, Glenn, bits and pieces of his manifesto have leaked out. They are quote after quote after quote of what left-leaning people say about our healthcare system.
No, Stu. No, he was both left and right.
Oh, yes. I'm sure he didn't like wokeness. Okay. Did he kill anybody over wokeness? I'm sorry. Did I miss that part of the story? Was he too afraid that United Healthcare was too woke? Was that his criticism? I missed that. His criticism was every left-wing criticism of healthcare. Anything you want to see about, well, we spend this much and we're only in 42nd place in life expectancy. All that stuff that you've been hearing forever from Michael Moore documentaries was this guy's manifesto. And if we were consistent at all we'd be doing is looking around for left-wing people to blame this murder on. Now, I don't think that's the right way to approach things. I think people with the guns should be the ones that get the blame for the murders. That's what I think. And I don't think we should be praising those murderers.
I'm very tempted. If I were just a political person that just wanted to have our side win, I'd be very, very tempted.
Yeah, I can understand the temptation. I feel like it's not the right thing to do because it's not true.
Right.
But beyond that, I get it. And here is, they absolutely tried to destroy Bill O'Reilly over that. They tried to destroy him. They tried to rip him off the air. They tried to destroy his life and his career. as if he was the one. They've also, here's another person they've done this to, Glenn freaking Beck. Go back to the times when I don't remember the exact story, but it was related to the Tides Foundation, a guy who went out and tried to do some terrible crime, and there was no evidence he even watched your show, but because you brought up the Tides Foundation a bunch of times, and he at one point criticized the Tides Foundation, they tried to ruin your life.
Wait a minute,
over that.
I see. I had forgotten about that one. I was thinking about the Gabby Gifford shooting.
Yes,
and
there you go again.
And then I remembered the guy who hung himself, the IRS agent, who said who I was blamed for wanting him to be hung. First, it was Glenn Beck had him strung up. Then it was suicide. Well, Glenn Beck made him want to hang himself. I mean, this is so ridiculous. So ridiculous.
I mean, Glenn, today, Elizabeth Warren, a U.S. senator, came out and said, violence is never the answer, but you can only push people so far. A U.S. senator said that?
You know, with everything that's going on with communism and North Korea, the only ones that were eaten were North Koreans by Jeffrey Dahmer. I mean, yes, he ate people, but all the heads in his refrigerator were North Koreans. So I kind of understand, I don't condone cannibalism, but you can see why he had a deal against North Koreans. That's how insane this argument is.
Yeah, it's not a well-reasoned argument, as you point out. And I don't care how many sit-ups the guy did. I don't care that he had nice abs that you really enjoyed. I don't care that you thought his smile was nice in the video that identified him. You are a legitimately horrible human being if you're cheering this guy on. You are a terrible human being. I have a relative.
May I change that in the spirit of Christmas?
I wanted to say 5 other things, and Yes.
You are so lost in darkness.
Okay, fine.
You have no...
Fine, miss...
I'm trying, Stu. I try to be a better person.
You are.
And you drag me down every day. Lord, it is his fault.
Strike him down.
There's a lot of smoting coming at some point.
I have a relative who works for a company that's associated with United Healthcare. And to the point that, she's had, Zoom calls with Brian Thompson, group calls. And she's like, he's the nicest guy in the world. Everybody in the company loved this guy. He spent all this time.
Of course, they're all shivving the average person in the back.
I don't think that's true. The people, he was known in the company as one of the good guys who was trying to reform the problems in this in the industry. He was a guy who was constantly encouraging low-level employees to be able to have new opportunities and make their lives better. This was a good man. A good man who came up, whose dad, by the way, worked at a grain elevator. He came up from nothing and was a massive success and was loved by the people around him. And these mother people are cheering on his cold-blooded murder in the streets of Manhattan.
The thing that really makes me angry is... Sorry, I have to use Les Miserables as an example.
Oh, jeez.
God, I'm such a weirdo. That's why I have no friends.
Better than Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. It's usually where you go in these moments.
So, the revolution is started by all of these, socialists. They're all rich kids. They're all rich, privileged kids that start the revolution. This is who this guy is. Mm-hmm. He has absolutely nothing to whine about. Nothing to whine about. His family seems to be a really gracious family. I don't know. But it's these rich, spoiled white kids that just think they know better than everyone else. They grow up to be rich little white liberals And they are so screwed up. And nobody even seems to mention that. Here's 1%.